Emily, after buying Lucasfilm for $4 billion, Disney is hungry to build a lot of buzz for the new Star Wars films. That has a lot to do with going online, going through social media. Jon Steinberg knows a thing or two about buzz. He's the president of BuzzFeed. He joins us now from New York. And John, they've been talking a lot about this online over the last 24 hours. What does this say about the marketing strategy for the Star Wars franchise under Disney?
Well, what's amazing, John, is we talk a lot about a two-screen experience, and typically what we mean about that is it's happening, synchronous. That at the same time people are on their iPads watching television or doing something of that sort. What we're finding is that social media, backstory, conversation, all of that happening leading up to the tune-in for a television show or the premiere of a movie is vital. People learn about media on other media now through the internet, through social. One of our reporters, Jack Moore, said to me, J.J. Abrams was so successful with Cloverfield, with Super 8. We actually did Super 8 marketing on BuzzFeed as well. Those didn't even have built-in bases in the way that Star Wars does. So I think this could potentially be one of the most exciting lead-up social media frenzies for a movie.
This is interesting, right? People traditionally think, oh, I see movie ads on television or trailers in the theater, but the studios go to BuzzFeed, too, to get the word out. The biggest film at the box office last weekend was Mama, a horror film that probably a lot of people didn't know much about, but you guys did some work with them, right? Right.
We created a whole assemblage of content with their agency and with the studio about some of the kind of teaser horror moments in the movie. We even referenced horror moments from other movies as well. We've done Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. Television tune-in is one of our largest categories as well. It is a massive category now. I would say that the internet and social is probably where people learn about the media they want to consumption more than any other place now.
Let's move from Hollywood to Washington. Earlier this week, everybody was talking about the president's inauguration. What was interesting with Twitter was the number of people tweeting this time around versus the first inauguration for President Obama. 1.1 million tweets this year versus 82,000 tweets 4 years ago. What does that tell you?
It tells us that inaugurations are not that hot. The only hot moment, the only story that we really had on BuzzFeed that was exciting about this was the Beyonce moment. That's when it really peaked. The election was exciting. The election had 20 million tweets, according to Mashable, over a very short period of time. But people just don't get that psyched about inaugurations unless, Beyonce and Jay-Z are on stage.
Really quickly before we go, Twitter is hoping that Vine, a new video app, is going to gain traction. You were checking out this week. What's your 2 cents on it?
I think it is game-changing. I think it is a different format. It is not quite a photograph. It is not quite video. What's interesting about it is when you view it on Twitter, with one click, it starts playing a 6-second loop. For a YouTube clip, you actually need to click twice, once to expand, once to play. I think people are going to love it from a consumer standpoint. I think it has huge implications for marketers. I think this could be the next YouTube for where marketers look to get out motion and experience in a story format.
Big statement. We'll watch and see. BuzzFeed President Jon Steinberg, thanks as always joining us from New York, and Emily, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, John.